phone, laptop, action camera, DSLR, power bank, and even your headphones need to be charged these days. And now there's another thing which is going to be added because Bajaj Auto has re-entered the scooter segment, but with an electric scooter. The Chetak is back and it's electric. But how is Bajaj Auto's re-entry into the scooter segment? We are going to be telling you by riding this EV today. One look at the scooter and it might remind you of Piaggio's Vespa. The design has been given that retro touch, and this is a 100% metal body scooter with some very interesting elements. The clean look of the scooter is further accentuated by the fact that the bolts can't be seen and the wheels can be, because everything is positioned on the left side. Yes, it's got a single-sided suspension both at the front as well as the rear. Now there are two variants on offer. The lower urban variant doesn't get metallic colors. It also gets a simpler seat and misses out on a front disc brake, thereby saving you rupees 15,000. The one we are testing today happens to be the premium variant of the Chetak. The Chetak gets all LEDs in the interest of conserving energy, and there are some retro elements which really might remind you of the older Chetak. For starters, it gets a footboard for the pillion, something which you really don't see on electric scooters as such. The mirror design replicates the new Chetak C logo, and of course you've got the logo on the mirrors as well as on the hand grips. The premium variant of the Chetak gets this beautiful seat, which by the way is imported, and gets a nice stitching as well. The grab rail is quite chunky and the overall build quality of the scooter is quite premium as well. Right now I'm sitting on the scooter, which is actually standing on a slope, but the scooter won't go behind because you get a rear brake lock, which is very easy to engage. The seating posture is upright, the seat is comfortable, there's decent amount of space around the footboard area as well. But there's no ignition switch because everything is keyless here, so this happens to be the key. You come near the scooter, it recognizes, you press this button and it turns on as well. But to get going, you have to engage the rear brakes and then press D, which is there on the right side of the switchgear, and the switchgear is very comprehensive on the scooter. In fact, the indicator switches are on either side for either side of the indicators. On the left side of the switchgear, you also get light controls along with the horn button. On the right side of the switchgear, you've got some important buttons. There is D, which is basically to select drive. There's R, which kind of means reverse, but it's sort of a park assist, which lets you ride the scooter backwards up to a speed of 3 km/h. And there's an M button as well, which has nothing to do with BMW performance cars. It is to actually toggle through the multi-information display, which shows you an odometer, a trip meter, and SOC, which basically tells you how much battery percentage is remaining. The instrument cluster is an all-digital unit, and right up front it tells you the speed as well as the range of the scooter. There's a clock right on top and an analog battery bar right below. It also tells you which mode you are riding in, which is sort of a mode position indicator. However, compared to competition, this comes across as rather basic. It has a retro charm but doesn't give you connected features which are there on other electric scooters. However, Bajaj says that an app is underway for both Android as well as iOS devices, which lets you see the position of your scooter located and also know the state of the scooter's battery, the percentage it has charged when you put it on charge overnight. And talking about charging, this key again plays an important role in that, because once Bajaj installs the charger at your place, you can only open the lid of the charging box when this key is with you, because both the charging box as well as your scooter will be paired together. Once you've plugged in the scooter, to ensure security, charging will only commence once you shut the charging box's lid as well as the seat of the scooter where you actually put the plug right below. Charging from 5% to 100% takes almost 5 hours, somewhere between 4.5 to 5 hours. Meanwhile, charging from 5% to 25% takes around an hour, and charging from 5% to 85% takes around 3.5 hours. There is no fast charger available because Bajaj says it's going to increase the cost of the battery, meanwhile also tampering with the reliability of the battery. This scooter comes with a warranty of 3 years, 50,000 kilometers, which also covers the battery as well as the motor. Meanwhile, the first 3 services are free, service interval is at 12,000 kilometers, you will not be charged for labor. The scooter comes with both a side stand as well as a main stand, and there's a button which lets you open the storage space. One click and the storage space right below the handlebar opens. Now this storage space has a cubby hole on the left side to keep the charger of the scooter. Meanwhile, on the right side, there's the first aid kit along with a USB charging port and space to keep your phone as well. Now that USB charging port has illumination around it so that you can comfortably see the plug at night. So if you press the same button for a longer duration, the seat actually opens. And below here, there's good amount of space to keep a half-faced helmet, not a full-faced one. And there's obviously the charging plug as well to charge the scooter. It does make a noise once you open the seat to tell you that the seat is actually open. And the best thing here is that it holds itself into position. So yeah, if I keep it this much, it won't fall down. So that's also a nice touch. Again, there is illumination around the charger to ensure that you can see it comfortably at night. Chetak is powered by a 4 kilowatt motor, and you really don't need to remember the specs because there is 2403 written right there. What does 2 stand for? Two-wheeler. 4 for 4 kilowatt the power, 0 for 0 emissions, and 3 for the battery's capacity, which happens to be 3 kilowatt hour. So with 6 bhp of power and a weight between 115 to 120 kgs, the scooter's performance isn't that brisk outright, in spite of all the torque coming right from 0 RPM. However, the mid-range is really nice and it pulls strongly from 30 to 60 km per hour, giving ample performance for day-to-day city riding. Bajaj has capped the top speed to 70 km per hour. Meanwhile, the scooter runs on eco mode as standard, and there's also a sport mode on offer which you can select using this button on the right side of the handlebar. However, as soon as you get more than 85% on the throttle, it automatically switches it to sport mode. And it will get back to eco mode as soon as you leave the throttle. When you switch the modes on the go, it does give a beep, and when you leave the throttle, there's regenerative braking as well, ensuring that the battery tops up a bit. The difference is noticeable to us, but not that much. Now the all-important question, what is the range of the scooter? Under ideal conditions when riding on eco mode, it will return almost 95 kilometers on a full charge. When you're riding in sport mode, it will return around 85 kilometers on a full charge. But if you ride it a little aggressively, that range obviously dwindles, and under real world scenarios, you should expect a range between 70 to 75 kilometers. The battery of the scooter never goes below 5% in order to ensure the cycles of the battery, but once you hit under 10%, the speed is limited to 20 kilometers per hour, and once you hit 5%, the scooter will simply not move ahead. The scooter is very silent, but when you get into sport mode, you can hear a bit of the whining from this motor, and it produces 16 Newton meters of torque, which is more than any other scooter powered by an ICE engine. And talking about ICE engine, the performance is very similar to other 110cc scooters. The 125cc scooters are simply faster. Now, there are surely some doubts which most people will have. Firstly, nothing has to be done in terms of service. Now, there are some common doubts which most people will be having. Can you ride the scooter in the rain? Of course you can, because the battery gets the IP67 certification, which ensures that it is properly sealed, is water resistant as well as dust resistant. Bosch actually claims that the battery will perform as good as new for 75,000 kilometers. Meanwhile, will the battery drain if you ride the scooter at night using the lights? It will not, because there's an auxiliary battery which is placed under the footboard to power the lights, and the lights being LEDs don't really draw that much power. As you can see, the weight distribution isn't 50-50 on this scooter. Firstly, the weight is more left biased and also rear biased. But Bajaj has worked around to ensure that the center of gravity is more centered on this scooter. Ride quality is good when you compare it to other electric scooters, but not in the same league as petrol-powered scooters somehow. The front suspension does not use a telescopic unit. Instead, it uses a lean link unit. Bajaj has done it for aesthetic purpose to ensure that the right side of the scooter is extremely clean and you can see the alloy wheels as well. The handling of the Chetak is quite good indeed. It is rich in terms of feedback, but at slow speeds, you can feel that the weight distribution is a bit too left biased. The handlebar is quick to flick, making it very maneuverable, and the brakes also offer strong stopping power. In fact, not strong, over strong, because the initial bite is just too much on the scooter. You do get used to it though. It gets link braking system to ensure safer braking performance. The Bajaj Chetak is a very thoughtfully engineered product. In fact, there's also a retractable hook there which can hold up to 3 kgs of weight. So as I see it, this is a scooter which will bring a lot of people to the electric bandwagon, and Bajaj has done a great job by offering something which is practical, usable and comfortable as well. But this is not a sporty scooter because it does have the performance but nothing to wow you over. And if you're looking for something like that, then of course there is the Ather 450, which is priced similarly as the Chetak. This one costs rupees 1.18 lakhs on road. But the Ather is just so much more thrilling to ride, although not as practical as the Chetak. So in terms of performance and handling, the Ather is difficult to beat. But Bajaj, being a long-standing player in the two-wheeler segment, has all bases covered, making it a great choice for those who are not yet convinced about the electric revolution but definitely want to join the party. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the MotorBeam channel and stay tuned because a comparison between both these scooters is coming really soon on our MotorBeam Hindi channel.